There's a great opportunity to utilize drones in this region, specifically for the oil and gas industry in the western part of the state. There's a lot of midstream activity. There's oil pipelines. There's the opportunity to inspect wellheads and even some of the water permeation that goes on. We've gotten great support from the state and an interest in trying to monitor these different activities. The real value in drones is the ability to fly lower, fly different types of missions that you can do than with general aviation aircraft. So there's a cost benefit to the operation. So really we're looking for all these different opportunities. And it's been great to get the support of the state and the economic development region here in general. A lot of use cases that we can really tap into, and we expect to do much more of it again in 2020. In building Aero Fleet 1 and really coming up with the original business plan was always to build a very large fleet. I would hope someday we can have the largest privately owned fleet in the world of heavy payload, beyond visual line of sight capable drones. I think in doing that, we then create a very large platform to serve many different industries, whether you're carrying sensors or carrying payloads for these different distances. I think building that fleet is what is really important and the opportunity we're really trying to capture with an Aero Fleet 1. Sure, the DR-20 was our original model. We commercialized it in Eastern Europe. We've flown a couple thousand hours of flight time with it, and that is really what has allowed us to prove the concept of using a large gas-powered fixed-wing UAV. What we also realized, though, is that we really need to go bigger. So now we've started to work with our new models, and these larger fixed-wing models will allow us to go further and carry heavier payloads. And the engines are more powerful, the propellers provide more thrust, things like that. So we started with the DR-20, but the future models and the ones that we're producing now are much more relevant to the industries we're trying to pursue and beyond visual line of sight.
Well, when it comes to UAS systems and drone systems in western North Dakota, the first thing I would say is that the state of North Dakota in our 2019 legislative session stepped up with the governor's recommendation with approximately $30 million in funding for UAS systems to put together the fly corridors that are needed to make what is currently being developed applicable to the industries that need it. And it's in western North Dakota now because it's an industry area of concern for the Bakken development and the companies out here, specifically for site detection, for spill detection and spill monitoring, for corridor development in terms of their infrastructure. In a lot of the areas that they look at, they can do it faster and better with drone technology than they can with any other technology out there today. And that's why the industry is so key to western North Dakota and so key for North Dakota as a whole, because as we develop this, it will be profitable for them to bring this technology to the Bakken area, and then from there it will guide its development statewide to the rest of the areas.
Well, the importance I see in using drones is you look at the oil and gas industry, and it's grown by leaps and bounds in the last several years due to technology advancement. This is obviously the next step into what we will see with the industry. The industry operates, their success is based on how they can reduce costs and increase efficiencies. So when they're able to use, again, the new technology, when we talk about drones or unmanned aerial, when they can use that to monitor their systems, it helps them reduce those costs into that area.
You know, my thoughts on the unmanned drones is that it provides an innovative solution and addresses some of the concerns and challenges regardless of industry, whether it's agriculture or oil and gas. And I think it's an integrated solution, a lot of practical applications, and we're finding that out more and more as time progresses. They're becoming more receptive and open to some of the applications that drone has. You know, we started with integrity and anomalies, findings, and now we're across the board, we're finding more and more reasons to use drones. It solves some of the answers, such as safety. It's definitely a cost driver, and we're seeing increase in productivity and efficiency. So I think as time passes by and the industry evolves, it's going to gain more acceptance, and we're going to find more uses. So I'm very optimistic about the future and growth of drones.
The importance of unmanned aircraft systems has really been made self-evident in the way that it's impacted every part of our state. We're seeing over in the western part of North Dakota the interest that oil companies are having. We're seeing that they're wanting to hire employees. We're hiring our students to come over there and to do work in unmanned aircraft systems. So they're starting to see that return on investment for actually using unmanned aircraft systems. We have agriculture that's being used. UASs are being used in agriculture, and that's been just fun to see. There was a report that was done back in 2013 saying that that was going to be the greatest impact of unmanned aircraft systems is in agriculture. And that's taken some time to really come to fruition, but we're starting to see that. We're starting to see that develop where farmers and agricultural folks are starting to see the benefit and the value of using unmanned aircraft systems to look at their crops for crop health. But also egg tech companies are being developed that are even thinking of new ways to use unmanned aircraft systems to improve crop yield. Education, we're seeing not only on the university level but on the high school level, we're seeing an impact that unmanned aircraft systems are making in North Dakota, where these small UASs can even be used to be taught in classrooms where students can learn about different technology, they can learn about problem solving, they can learn about critical thinking skills, and just be able to exercise those things using these devices and have some fun while they're learning. And so they're getting this feel for how aviation can be ingrained in their life no matter where that they go. We're seeing companies that come in like Northrop Grumman and General Atomics that are here in town that want to do business here, and they see the workforce that we have and the work ethic that we have that they can really tap into. We have our universities that are needed really to figure out some of these problems that haven't been completely solved. You know, agriculture's on the edge of really seeing that return on investment, but it's not quite there yet. But we need universities like NDSU to help to look at things like the different crops and how we can inspect those crops and look at them, and to actually have the analytics side of the software really working to say what's going on with these crops, so we can take that information, we can take that data, and we can do something with it. And so there's tons of research that needs to be done in safety, in operations, in sensors, in multiple areas that we can be a part of that with the expertise that we have at our universities here in North Dakota as well. Just saw the other day in North Dakota job report there was about 8 or 9 different jobs, UAS jobs that are available here right in the state. And so this is going to bring in new people into our state that can feel that need and also provide jobs for the people that are already in our state. And so UAS has this fantastic way to really intersect with so many different industries and really to make more job opportunities available and really improve or enhance other jobs. And so the importance of UAS is we're just seeing the starts of it, but I think it's really going to grow as we move forward.
Yeah, in the aspects of drone technology, and being I do farm and ranch, and of course live in the oil field, in our situation, Patty and myself, our experience in the fall of 2013 was the experience of finding a oil spill. I guess it was a leak in a pipeline. And for us, we found it, of course, when we were harvesting our fall crop, and we came upon it on the surface of the field. And from that, opened up a lot of communications for finding out whose pipeline it was, trying to get it stopped. And then it just kind of grew into a big project of how big and what's to be done with it. Our situation with the spill possibly being the release happening a long time before it was actually at surface. And most pipelines are inspected by air, called pipeline patrol with airplanes, and a lot of them are one pilot. Leaves some room for error. I feel a drone could be systematically or scheduled to do certain areas repetitiously, more effective, cost effective, less maintenance for airplanes. I think overall just being a lot higher quality of an inspection.
And I originally started with drones in the agriculture side, but we see the need for it to expand into possibly the gas and oil industry. The technology is changing daily, and the safety aspects and the things that we think drones can bring to this industry, I think would be a great asset. We look forward to working with Aero Drone 1 in this collaboration, and hopefully we can bring this to North Dakota. I look forward to working with Mark and Tina both. Mark with Aero Fleet 1 is doing a great job. The technology and the work that they've already done, and if we can incorporate the agriculture side with remote agri-drone, also look forward to working with Tina in her marketing skills and see what this thing can bring to fruition in the end.
I also hear that North Dakota has become a drone center. Tell me about that, sir.
Well, over 15 years ago, North Dakota began down a path of becoming a leader in unmanned aerial systems, and through our universities where we have got top aviation schools, one of the best in the nation, we've also then begun leading. And this last year, our legislature worked to pass historic and first in the nation legislation where we're building out the first statewide air traffic control system for unmanned aerial systems. And what this means is going to be increased productivity for every aspect of agriculture and every aspect of energy, transportation, because the information that we can get digitally through drones flying around our state, across our state, supporting all of these applications is going to be absolutely fantastic. And we know that at some point this is going to be needed for the whole nation, but because we're building out the first test site where people can fly beyond visual line of sight here in North Dakota without a chase plane coming behind them, we also have over 40 UAS startup companies that have come here, and some of the major U.S. aerospace companies have set up operations in North Dakota, because this is the place, if you want to be in unmanned aerial systems, North Dakota is the place to build out and create your applications.
The future of drone use is absolutely in the beyond visual line of sight space. Heavy payloads, the ability to go long distances. These are each very commercially viable applications for the drone industry. Up until now, having a pilot that has to be within the visual line of sight space, having to actually pilot the unit the entire time, it's very limiting for the business case uses that you can use to really build a scalable business out of it. So by having larger, heavier payloads, longer missions through beyond visual line of sight, this is all really speaks to the future of the drone industry and the opportunities for commercialization within the drone industry. Since the middle of 2019, Tina Zaruta has come on as our marketing director, and she is really interested in pursuing the Aero Fleet 1 business here in North Dakota. So her plan is to relocate here in the near future, really work with a lot of our marketing programs and a lot of our outreach to the state and the local officials that we need to utilize as we grow our business plan for Aero Fleet 1.
Stay tuned for our posts on social media as Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We are really excited to see you all online. See you there.
Hey, thank you for coming to check out Aero Fleet 1. We're happy to be here in North Dakota. We are looking for great opportunities in the oil and gas industry as well as the agricultural industry. We have a large fixed-wing, heavy payload drone, and we think we can serve you well in your industry also.